Ladies and gentlemen, this is MTG Traders. My name is Taryn, and this is Jackal Tribal. Ixalan preview season is approaching rapidly, but I did want to hit a few decks before we left Hour of Devastation decks behind completely. And this tribal deck is one you guys have been clamoring for a while now, Jackal Tribal. But before I get into it, like the video and subscribe to MTG Traders for more content like this in the future. Alright, let's get into it. This is an aggro deck, so we're trying to get in turn over turn as quickly as possible. Starting out at the 1 mana slot, we have 4 Bomat Courier and 4 Flameblade Adept. Both creatures are fast turn 1 plays, as the Courier can refill your hand in the mid to late game, and the Adept can be hard to deal with if you have cycling gas in your hand. And with 9 cycling and discarding outlets in the deck, Flameblade is sure to trade up. Coming into the 2 mana slot, we have mostly everything else, but one creature that isn't a Jackal, and that's Metallic Mimic. We have a full playset of it. The Mimic gives our Jackals buffs, and if 2 Mimics are played, we're looking at larger than life Jackals stomping through the battlefield. The other 2 drops? We've got 4 Earthshaker Kenra and 4 Resilient Kenra. Earthshaker is one of the best red cards out there, having haste, making a creature of lesser power not be able to block, and having Eternalize for a long match. The Earthshaker does so much work, it's insane. Resilient is similar in that regard. It helps us in pumping out our creatures to get in turn over turn, and of course also has Eternalize to help pump for even more value. Both of these creatures have the chance to come back if a game goes long, and I think that is awesome. Moving up to the 3 mana slot, we have Kenra Charioteer. Kenra Charioteer is here for trample damage as well as giving our entire board trample damage. The Charioteer is fairly cut and dry with abilities, but trample is incredibly important in the mid to late game when all we need is a few more points to kill our opponent. The last 2 creatures in the deck, of course, Hazoret the Fervent. While he's not technically a Jackal, he totally is, but since he's not technically a Jackal, the Mimic doesn't give him the buff. He does, however, get in for 5 damage turn over turn, and since we're running low on cards by turn 4 or 5 anyway, he'll usually come into the battlefield online. He's incredibly useful and a pain for our opponent to deal with. Do not overlook this massive tempo swing. That is it for creatures. We've got 25 in the deck total. But what else do we have in the main board? Pump, card draw, and removal. Let's go over it. In the removal slot, we have 3 Abrade and 1 Dissenter's Deliverance. Both cards deal with artifacts, but Abrade can remove a regular creature as well. That's awesome. The flexibility of Dissenter's Deliverance is also great, letting us cycle into new cards if we don't need it. For pump spells, we've got 2 Pursue Glory. Most of the time, this card in game will likely just be a cycling card if we're in trouble. But if we're in tempo, this card does serious work for us, letting us get in for even more damage on turn 4. And thanks to the Charioteer, our creatures will likely have trample, making the trades more in our favor. And lastly, we've got 2 Cathartic Reunion. This card helps grow our Flame Blades early, pitch our Eternalized creatures into the graveyard in the mid to late game, and even helps us mana fix by drawing 3 new cards. It's super useful and I highly recommend it. For aggression and pump spells, we have 4 Cartouche of Zeal in the enchantment slot in the main board. A fantastic card all around, and one of the reasons Remnant Bread is so successful. But that does it for our main board. Let's go over lands. We've got 4 Sheltered Thicket, 3 Remnant Ruins, 2 Haship Oasis, 4 Sunscorched Desert, 5 Forest, and 5 Mountain. The mana base is fairly spaced out, and it helps us get multiple triggers for the Oasis and Ruins since we're running 9 deserts in total. Not bad at all. But let's say game 1 went poorly. What can we do? Let's go over the sideboard. We've got 4 Blossoming Defense here for anti-creature removal, and the only reason it isn't in the main board is due to our curve being fairly quick already, 2 Chandra's Defeat to deal with the Planeswalker or Glorybringer, 2 Dissenter's Deliverance to deal with artifacts, 2 Heroic Intervention for more protection, 2 Appetite for the Unnatural for even more artifact hate, as well as enchantment hate, 2 Sweltering Suns for wide board states, and 1 Insult Injury to fight through fogs or close a game even more quickly. And that is the full 75. On MTGOtraders.com, the full deck is coming to a fairly decent 53 tickets. Not bad considering we have a lot of Ramming Up Reds pieces in the deck. But that is the deck. Let me know your thoughts. Love it? Hate it? Have changes for it? Let me know in the comments below. I respond back as quickly as I can. But as always, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to MTG Traders for more content like this in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video.